What if I told you you can get a profit and loss for your business for 1 full year in under 10 minutes? Hey guys, I just wanted to show you what you can do to get a profit and loss in under 10 minutes. So let's say you have a small business and you want to submit the profit and loss to your accountant so that they can process your corporate tax return. And let's say they're not accepting any new bookkeeping clients. I use a software called Ledgend AI, which allows you to essentially upload your bank statements or CSVs, and then in under 10 minutes, you can get a profit and loss. You just have to type what you want, what kind of categories you want, how do you want the information to be presented, or what are you using it for, and it will do it all for you. So let's get started. Here I am signed up to a new account. This is a creative agency called Maxim Creatives. So it's a brand new account. There's nothing here. On the right side, you'll see your transactions once they're there. On the left side is where you can just type what you want or where you upload things. So let's say we have a bunch of bank statements just like this. So it's a PDF statement. And as you can see, this one's almost 4 pages, and this is only for 1 month. So we want a Ledgend to process all these bank statements so that we have some data to work with. And Ledgend is a software that essentially does that. It's able to process OCR, whatever documents you give it, whether it be bank statements, bills, receipts, invoices, customer statements, and it's able to transform these into financial records so that you don't have to use another software to do that, or you don't have to type them out and whatnot. And the best thing about it is you don't need to do any of the data cleaning. You don't need to do any formatting or anything. It just does it all for you. So here we are, we're just going to, this is where you upload your statements. So we're going to choose, here I have 12 statements. I'm actually going to choose the PDFs. The PDFs usually contain the starting and ending balances, which for most banks is better than the CSVs because it allows you to ensure that you have accurate information in the system. And the easiest way to do that is to check the balances. So here I'm just going to select the 12 statements. Here I'm just going to tell it that these are bank statements and there's no other, I'm just going to import it right into cash checking. And there's nothing else for me to do for now. So I'm just going to click upload. So it's processing. This is going to take about maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So I'll come right back. So it finished processing. It added all the PDF. For each one, it kind of gives you a success message here. So here they are to the right side. And you could just search any year you want. Say June 2025. Show you all the transactions for June 2025. And the cool thing about it is that it also attached a PDF statement just so that you can make things easier for you. So as a quick check, this is accountants love to do this. I'm just going to make sure that the ending balance in the system is the same as the ending balance on the statement. That just means that all the transactions were entered correctly. So here I'm just going to go to December 2025. And because I have the document already attached here, I'm just going to see that the ending balance, as you can see here, is 778,153. And then if I go to the balance sheet, the ending balance is 778,153. So that's perfect. It aligns well. So all the transactions are in, and just in a few minutes, now I can start determining how do I want it to be categorized. So the way the software works is that during the import, it doesn't really mess with your transactions. It just kind of lays it flat. That's why everything came in as uncategorized income, uncategorized expense. The easiest way to do this is I'm just going to ask it, me on which expense accounts I should create. First, analyze the transactions for me. Do this for let's say do this for the first 3 months. Create a give a recommendation. We'll create it later. Give a recommendation on the best categories to create for a creative, say, tech agency. My goal is to create full P&L. Let's just say I don't want to deal with any accruals or timing differences. I'm just going to say, important, do not modify any transactions. I just want to review what output. Just give a recommendation for the chart of accounts that I need to create income and expense. So I'm also going to save this prompt. So I'm just going to be like analyze chart of accounts or P&L. So I can bring it up later if I want to. Okay, so I'm just going to click send. Okay, so it finished. Let's see what it gave us. So income sources, you have large wire from these customers. I have significant spam on specialized talent. So contractors, tech stack, advertising, payroll. It's going to give me here the recommended chart of accounts, revenue, other income, cost of goods sold, operating expenses. So this actually analyzes all the transactions to distinguish between my cost of goods sold and operating expenses, all the way down to employee benefits, software subscription. This would have taken me an hour to figure out, to analyze the transactions and determine the chart of accounts to create for my business. It's fairly detailed and it's actually pretty good. Taxes and licenses. Here it's trying to separate these out and capitalize the computer. I'm just going to tell it to expense that. So here I'm just going to say, go ahead and create these income and expense account. And for computer, create an expense account. step, and asset. So that's basically it. And I already have my chart of accounts. It's done. Here's a summary of what was created, cost of goods. Amazing. So the next thing I like to do, just because it allows it for easier categorization, is I like to normalize the contact. Kind of already did it for me a little bit. You know, it removed some trailing number, tried to make it consistent. So I just want to make sure that these contacts are consistent as possible. That if we see a GitHub here, that it's not just one GitHub Inc. and then another one that's or MailChimp here and a MailChimp somewhere else that's different. So I like to use a tool in Ledgend called Normalize Contact Names. And this will just allow the AI to better grab the transaction for you. So for example, it will read the description and actually know what vendor it's talking about, and it'll come up with a nice clean name for it. So I'm just going to run this very quickly. Okay, so it's almost done. We're on month 12 now. So pretty cool. It cleaned up 1,001 transactions. Yeah, look how clean these names are now. This is just going to help us out when we're doing the categorizations. So Ledgend has a tool called the mass categorization tool. So we're just going to categorize all transactions, and it'll take your accounts that you just created. It'll take the contacts and the descriptions, and it'll match it based on what AI reasons to be the best match for these two. So I'm just going to click all transactions. It's going to take a minute or two. Here it gives you a trail of actually what it was doing. So my categories goes to salaries and wages, Uber Eats to meals and expense. It's going to process this in 18 batches so that the AI ensures that it occurs in the most accurate way possible. Dell computer equipment. So I'll just let it go. Okay, so it just finished. It's pretty cool. Just basically 2 minutes, it processed 1,200 transactions. The coolest thing of all is that it shows you what it did. So you can just see the amount of transactions, the amount of contacts. So these are all contact names because remember, we normalized and cleaned the contacts so that all the categorizations we make sure are always consistent. So all Uber Eats go to meals, expenses, and so on. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the transactions. They're all categorized right here. And finally, the thing we've been waiting for is to get the profit and loss for 2025, and it's right here. So what would have likely taken you, maybe if you were to enter all the data in and to categorize and to get a proper chart of accounts and to categorize all the transactions, that's probably a good Sunday afternoon to get all that. And here we have it. Ledgend has all types of exports. You can just copy and paste into a spreadsheet. You can just download it as a spreadsheet as well. It automatically shows you month by month, knowing you don't need to set that up. And what your accountant's going to be looking for is this column on the right, is just the totals. Ooh, so that's about it. I'll be creating more videos on how you can use Ledgend to not only analyze your business, but also see what kind of tax help you can get from Ledgend.